So in the past, I've mentioned being a big fan of Doug Walker. I enjoy watching all of his stuff. I look forward to the weekly episodes of Nostalgia Critics. I watch his panels when they're uploaded. I watch his reviews that are not Nostalgia Critic related. I watch bum reviews. I watch Ask That Guy with the Glasses. I watch Sibling Rivalry. I just like what him and Rob have to say. I think they're both very interesting people when talking about film. And it's just, like, them and Cracked are probably the two people on the internet that I really enjoy listening to and just really like to hear what they have to say. And yeah, he's earned a lot of respect for me over the years. But that doesn't mean there aren't other good critics on the channel. There's actually a lot of good ones. So I want to acknowledge 10 of those critics I actually enjoy to watch. So here's a top 10 favorite That Guy with the Glasses critics besides Nostalgia Critic. Number 10. Todd in the Shadows. This one's more of a guilty pleasure since he kind of does that Batman thing where he covers his face, nobody can know what he is, kind of like Mini Boy actually. But yeah, and he reviews pop music. This isn't exactly what I would expect to be entertained by, but he keeps me watching. I almost watch every episode as it's uploaded. I haven't been watching him as much lately, but I used to watch him quite a bit, and I don't know why. I don't particularly find him to be that funny, and I mean, he makes some good points on what he reviews, but I mean, he reviews songs. It's a little weird for me to be entertained by this, actually. Not saying what he does is not entertaining at all. It's just not really what I would usually find interesting, but for some reason, I keep going back. It's weird and addicting. I would call it like a Full House kind of weird because I didn't really like Full House, but I watched all the time. But it's not that I don't like this one, it's just I don't really know why I watch it. It's one of those things that you will watch and watch and watch, but you're not quite sure why you're watching it. And don't lie, that exists for all of us. There's something like that for us. But Todd in the Shadows is pretty good at what he does. He has a nice style for his show. He does make some good points. I don't really know how much of an interest there is for people who review pop songs, but if you're going to watch someone do it, I guess Todd in the Shadows is the best one to watch, at least to my knowledge. Number 9. Nostalgia Chick. Now, let me refer to this as her early days, because in the old days I thought she was great. Very entertaining, a lot of great points were brought up. It was just a very fun show to watch, and she made a lot of good points, just like Doug Walker, and she definitely deserved to get the role of Nostalgia Chick when she entered that contest. But lately, she seems to be a lot less appreciative of what she actually has, and maybe that's not really fair for me to say. I mean, I don't know what she's been up to in real life, but you never see her do crossovers anymore. You never see her really appear in anything, even her own show. I mean, I think she finally uploaded something else after like 6 months and it was a top 10, and it wasn't very interesting. It was just her sitting in front of a camera talking about movies that came out this year, and I mean, yeah, I kind of just lost interest in everything she does, but back then she used to be great. So if you want to see, if you're looking to watch another good critic, watch the old Nostalgia Chick episodes, but the new ones, I'm not a huge fan of the new ones at all. And it's not even just the fact that it takes for them to be uploaded, I just don't find them that entertaining anymore. She kind of changed a lot of stuff about how she does these reviews, and it's just not for me anymore, I guess. Number 8. Mars Girl. Now, this is a completely different story. I actually think she's getting better and better as she goes along. I recently watched her Fritz the Cat review, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. She's another one of the people who joined during the Nostalgia Chick contest, but she didn't get the role of Nostalgia Chick, but she did get a review show, and she's pretty loyal to the channel. She still does stuff on it, and she, like I keep mentioning, is an interesting person to listen to, and that's very important when doing a review show. I'm going to keep repeating that just because it is something to be continued to repeat. If you're going to be a critic, you need to be interesting. You need to be someone that people actually care about your opinion. You have to give details, but not do it in a boring way. Don't just go on and on about stuff, kind of like I do. Be interested, make people want to come back for more, and Mars Girl does that for me. I will admit I haven't seen too many episodes of her show, but I always enjoy it when I see it. So, yeah, Mars Girl's pretty good. Number 7. Jus Oreo. Now, I know there's a big talk about what recently happened with him, but I'm actually going to try to keep that out of this video, just because I don't really want to talk about that. I want to talk about why he's on this list. I didn't watch his show that many times. When I did, it was very good, and I feel a little bit bad I didn't watch it a little bit more, because, as we all know, there really isn't going to be any more now. But I still really like what he did in the other appearances he made. While I wasn't a big viewer of his show, every single time he was in one of the Nostalgia Critic films or in a crossover review, he made me laugh a lot. He was a very, very funny guy. Just hilarious. Like, To Boldly Flee, he has like one of my favorite moments in the entire movie. Man, he was great. He did this crossover review with Linkara and some other guy. I actually forget what the guy's name is. But Jus Oreo, while I never got to watch his show that much, he was funny, and that's why he makes this list. Not because he was a great critic, but because he was a great comedian that could always bring a smile to your face. Number 6, Mike J. So Mike J is not one of the more popular critics on the channel, but I give him a lot of credit for his Shameful Sequel series. He's pretty funny, but the show is usually not that focused on being funny. It's more of just him giving his opinions, but he does add comedy to it, and it's usually pretty subtle, and it's done very well. I once again just think he's an interesting person, and I like what he chooses to do, though. He has different series, and it's all split up, but one of them is Shameful Sequels, and that's my favorite one. The one review that got me to watching him was A Christmas Story 2, because I heard that fucking film got made, and I was thinking, oh god, the original Christmas Story came out years ago. They're going to make a direct-to-DVD sequel for this now? Come on. And I wanted to see what this movie is about. I didn't want to see the movie myself, but I wanted to watch a review on it. So I went to Mike J because I realized, oh, he did a review on this. And I said, oh, he reviews a bunch of sequels. Let's take a look at what he has to say about these certain movies. And I just think he picks some pretty good movies to review is one of the big things. And aside from that, I just like his show. He's pretty funny. Like I said, I like the movies he picks, and it's just fun. I recommend this show. I think a lot of people would like it. Number 5, Linkara. And like Jus Oreo, not because of his reviews, but because of his humor. Now, I know that might sound a little bit wrong, since this is my top 10 favorite critics. I guess I should just say entertainers, because a lot of these people I like for more than just being critics. Like, when you see a review in the newspaper, or a review in a magazine, or online, you know, you read it and it's good, like you might be interested in reading it, but it's not going to entertain you that much. When you see an actual video, someone who tries to add comedy and shows clips from the movies and has a really good personality with what they do, it's a lot more interesting, and that to me is more than just being a critic, it's being an entertainer. And to me, Linkara is a great entertainer, but I really don't give a crap about his show. I've tried watching it. It's not for me. But whenever he makes an appearance in one of the Nostalgia Critic reviews, or he actually appeared in a Blockbuster Buster review, and there's the movies, I always get a good laugh from what he does. And I think Linkara is actually a really funny person. I'm just not a huge fan of his own show, but he's, to me, one of the funniest members of the channel. That doesn't take away from that. His own show, personally, just, he reviews comic books a lot, and that's not really the kind of thing I'm that interested in watching, but whenever he does a crossover review, or whenever he appears in one of the movies, I think it's pretty fun to watch. Number 4, Cinema Snob. That's right, the guy who reviews porn managed to make it to number 4 on my list. Once again, not really for his shows, but for his videos, for his own stuff. Cinema Snob, his actual show, is pretty decent. I do like it a bit. But the thing I really like about Cinema Snob is how he's willing to go out of his way to do more than that. Aside from doing the crossovers on other channels or other shows, he also makes films. He did a movie called Paranoia. He did a Cinema Snob movie. He's really willing to go out there and try other things, and I like that about him. I'm happy that he's not just one of those people who only tries one thing and just sticks with that. I like how he experiments with what he really can do. And that's one thing I really always liked about Cinema Snob. Aside from that, his show is pretty good. It's not one that I watch on a regular basis. Whenever I do, it's usually pretty good. He does more than just reviewing porn, by the way. I should say that. He does horror films, too, and I've seen him do other things, too, but it's weird what he takes on in his review show, but it's definitely something new. He doesn't go for the obvious that you see with a lot of other people, so that's something I can respect him for. Number 3. Okay, this guy's pretty popular, so I don't even know why I'm really hesitating to say what number 3 is. With all of his temper tantrums and the fact that he's just really obnoxious, I guess I'm a little bit ashamed to admit he's so high on the list. But he makes me laugh, and I think overall he's very good at what he does. Angry Joe. So Angry Joe is just one of those guys who likes to make these videos where he yells and yells and yells. But at the same time, he does make some good points. Good review on these games that he takes a look at. Though sometimes I think he can be a little bit unfair. And yeah, I like it. I like what he does with the show. I think he does have these temper tantrums quite often that are a little bit childish, but I give him credit for being able to express everything he actually believes and never just always being able to say what he's thinking and never really being afraid of what other people think of him for doing it. So I can give him respect for that too, and it's not like he's heartless, it's not like he's a bastard, like he's very good to his fans, he always delivers, he definitely works really hard on what he does, there's a lot of effort put into each video. He was very saddened by his friend's death, it's not like, he did a tribute to him, it's not like he's emotionless aside from violence and anger, but yeah, I think there's a lot to like about Angry Joe. Once you look past stuff like the temper tantrums and the very obnoxious moments in the show, I think there's a lot to like about Angry Joe, and I think a lot of people should give him a chance. Now, I honestly think most people will probably be surprised with who I put with number 2 and 1. Most people probably wouldn't put these guys so high up on the list. But I have my reasons, especially with number 2, because honestly, from what I've seen, I think that number 2 on my list is probably the least popular on the channel, and I actually really like this guy quite a bit. Number 2 is Blockbuster Buster. So, the weird thing with this is just everyone seems to have some sort of dislike for him. I mean, not everyone. He has a good bit of viewers that watch him every time he makes a review, and he's been in a crossover review of Linkara. He got to be in To Boldly Flee. It's not like he's hated or anything, completely. But there are some people out there who consider him to be, not as good as the others, and some people who actually do legitimately hate him. And I think that sucks because this guy has the least bit of attention on the channel, yet he does a lot more than most of the people. Honestly, he's kind of up there with Doug, making like these big 30 to 40 minute episodes a week, and just, he puts a lot of work into the editing, he really does care about it, and aside from that, he doesn't just do his main show, Blockbuster Buster, but he also does honest reviews where it's just him speaking and not his character. Now, why else is he on here, aside from the whole respect factor? Because I do have a lot of respect for him. Like I said, doesn't get the most attention, yet always is making stuff. Never gives up, and always releases his episodes. Never goes on these big holds. Weekly, you get the episodes, and they're all pretty long. So is his show actually any good, or is he only on this list out of pity? Well, he's definitely not only on this list out of pity, but there are problems with his show. One, the whole Blockbuster Buster backstory, like why his name is the Blockbuster Buster, why he is the Blockbuster Buster, I think is pretty stupid. And he tries to add these stories to the reviews, continuing storylines, and that is stupid. I know I put him high on this list, so, and now I'm saying what he does is stupid. I'm not really saying what he does is stupid, but I'm saying the whole concept of trying to add a big story to it is stupid. Adding some sort of story might work if you do it properly, but he adds this big serious backstory, and I hate that. I really hate that. Like, there was this, he did the Shrek movies, and for the Shrek movies, he had to lose his memory and then review them, and like, why? I mean, and that's not even as bad as it goes. There's like literally villains throughout the show, and that's not... There's different kind of shows for that stuff to show up, and I know it's like, it's original, it hasn't really been done, but it's not meant for a review show. It's really stupid, and I don't blame other people for finding it stupid. But when you actually get to what he talks about, he's very passionate about what he reviews, he makes a lot of great points, he does have a lot of funny moments, and that's why I like him, because he's a good critic, he's good at what he does, he's an interesting person to listen to. I don't always agree with him, in fact I disagree with him quite a bit, but that doesn't change the fact that I enjoy listening to what he has to say. I really wish he would cut all this story stuff out and like trying to add more than necessary to his reviews, because it does get boring to me, and it's just really dumb. But when you look at what he's doing, like when he's giving an honest review, I think it's really good, and I like the Blockbuster Buster. I like the show. I like more than just his actual reviews. I like, I like his show, but I just wish he would cut those aspects out of it, because he's interesting. He is good at what he does. He's a good entertainer. It's just he needs to, maybe make a few changes to the show, I don't know. But he had some good ideas. He did a crossover Linkara, which was really good. He had this one episode where, like, I guess he had this, I don't know if it was girlfriend, wife, or whatever, but she takes over the review because she knew more about what the review was, and I thought that was good. You know, I liked his Son of the Mask review. I liked his Garfield review. I thought there was a lot of good stuff that he has put out in the past, and I really just, I think this guy deserves more credit than he gets. You know, I've seen some pretty harsh things said about him, and I think he deserves more than what he gets on the channel. And I recommend some people to watch him, because I think he's pretty good at what he does. Like I said, I don't always agree with him, and sometimes he does do some stupid stuff with his videos, but that doesn't change the fact that he makes a lot of good points, picks a lot of interesting films to review, and is just really good at what he does, and he's very loyal to it, even though he probably gets less views than anyone else on the channel. Maybe I'm wrong about that, though. I don't know that for sure. Now, number 1 gets quite a few views and is overall liked by the people that go on ThatGuyWithTheGlasses, but I think most people would be surprised that she is on my top 10 list as number 1, and yeah, I did say she. I feel like most people would not expect me, me in general, to put her on a list to decide. But that is Jisu Okita, and I think I said her name right. I might have pronounced it wrong. And here's the thing with her. I actually started watching her over the summer because I never watched anime, and that's mostly what she did until the summer. And then when I watched Full Metal Alchemist, I saw, oh, she did a Full Metal Alchemist review, and she's part of That Guy with the Glasses. And oh hey, Doug Walker makes a cameo in this review. That'll be kind of cool. Let's watch it. So I watched the review, and I really liked it. Just really liked it. I actually rewatched this one sometimes. It's very long, too, and, I usually don't have a huge attention span with, new YouTubers or new critics I've never seen before. Usually, if it's going to be a 30-minute review, I had to have watched them for a while already, like Nostalgia Critic. But no, this got me watching all the way through, and it was actually very interesting to me. Not only did she give out some, facts about the show that I didn't know and I thought were very interesting, but me and her almost have the exact same opinions on everything about this show. We both prefer it over Brotherhood. We both the same opinions on Conqueror of Shambhala. We both really just have the same opinion on the show overall. And I really like that about that. What she was saying was almost taking the words out of my mouth completely. So I started watching some of her other reviews, and I liked those too. And just as time went by, I started watching a lot more of her stuff, even the reviews on animes I've never seen, just because I liked it. I like listening to what other people have to say about certain topics over the internet, and I never really watch anyone who takes a look at anime, because I'm still pretty new to anime, so I never really watched an anime critic. So she really is my only taste of that, aside from the few reviews that, Nostalgia Critic did on an anime, like the Sailor Moon review or the Ponyo review. But I really just enjoy watching it. Yeah, I like it more than any of the critics, and mostly just because it seems like something a little bit different. Now, she's not the only anime critic on the website, but she is one of a few, because most of them will review movies or video games. I think Linkara actually is a little bit original too, because he does comics, but it's nice. It's nice to see something different be done on the channel, and it's just entertaining. I really recommend this to anyone who likes anime, because it's just to me, if you like hearing people discuss certain topics, and you like reviews, because I know a lot of people aren't that interested in watching reviews, but I am, and you also like anime, I definitely recommend you check her out, because I think she's really good at what she does. And she is my favorite, aside from Doug Walker, on Channel of Awesome.